What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to another Football Manager 2020 video. Today, we're doing an experiment. We've got Pep Guardiola here. We've moved him to Boston United, and we're going to answer the question once and for all, can Pep do it in the non-league? Can he do it without money? Is he a bold fraud, or is he the second coming of Jesus? So we're going to find out today. That is the experiment. We're going to be making him manager, as you can see here, of Boston United. You might be sat there thinking, Jack, why Boston United? Boston United, a team near and dear to my heart. A club that I used to go and watch as a wee lad growing up. And over a decade ago now, you can see they got relegated 3 divisions in 2 years. They never really recovered. And for the last 9 years, they've been stuck in the Vanarama National North. We are going to see now if Pep can get them up. I mean, if anyone can do it, it's probably going to be Guardiola. So for this experiment, we've just literally copied and pasted him from Manchester City, and cut and pasted him, I guess, would be a more realistic term, because there's not another Pep in charge of Manchester City. But yes, he is here at Boston. We have lowered his reputation to ensure he isn't going to get poached up. And we're going to see if he can take his managerial philosophy and all of these preferences he has and apply them in the non-leagues of English football. Of course, in real life, I think Pep's style of play is something that is extremely technically demanding. A lot of people label him as a manager who needs money to succeed. And we're going to see if he can take his philosophy as a manager, apply it for what is, to be honest, a very average Boston United side. You can see here, Addons is the best player. He's 18 years old. To be fair, he's not that bad, the striker on loan from Lincoln City. But here is an idea of the quality of player Pep is going to be working with. Can he get them firing? That is going to be the question. And, well, shall we go forward a year and see how he gets on in year 1? If you want to leave a prediction now for where he will take the Pilgrims, let me know down below. And, yeah, let's go forward a year, shall we? June 2020... Will he have survived a season? I don't have the faintest of clues. So guys, we've gone forward a year, and I can now confirm he's still in charge. His contract, by the way, I didn't touch on it before, I gave him a 4-year deal. I felt like he needed to be somewhat planted in for the long term. Of course, another club could come and poach him up. Let's see how he did at Boston United, shall we? They finished first. No way did they. I mean, I'm saying this as a Liverpool fan, as someone who has an affinity to Boston. They won the league by 1 point, and then York, who came second, missing out on the title by, well, 1 point. They get absolutely nothing. Sorry, York. Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But yes, they got promoted. Who was their big performer? Who did he get firing? It was Addons and Jake Wright as well, getting a fair amount of goals too. You can see here his preferred formation was a 4-2-3-1 with Andy Tannoy there. I know there's going to be certain subscribers of Dr. Benji recognising that name. How did they get on in the other cup competitions? That's now what I'm wondering. In the FA Cup, did they get far? They won the first round? Did they win the second round of the FA Cup? No, they lost 3-0 to Wickham. I mean, other than that though, he did very, very well. Did he spend any money? Let's have a look at this, shall we? He did spend some money, but actually it was mostly kind of freebies that he was bringing in from the looks of things. We made him charge, I want to say from the 10th of June was when he was here, so he brought in a few players for free. In terms of his staff, I don't think he will have brought any of his staff with him, so he's only really got what he was given. Boston's media prediction was 7th for the season, so the fact they won the league means he did punch above his weight. He did get a lot out of the players. It's going to be interesting. I did try doing this experiment last year, and he got sacked after 1 year, so I just never did it, because I tried twice, and twice he didn't last the first year. He's lasted the first year here. He's got Boston United promoted. Could be a challenge now to see if he can keep them in the Vanarama National League, because it seems like they might have got promoted somewhat prematurely. I say prematurely. They've scraped by, so can they adapt? That's going to be the question. Let's go forward a year, shall we, and find out how they got on. Okay, guys, so here we are back, and yeah, year 2's not gone quite as well. Obviously, there's going to be a high turnover of players here. Dominic Nolas was brought in to be their big man up top. I mean, he looks pretty good for the level, but it wasn't enough. You can see here lingering at the top, ironically, is the fact that Boston lingered at the bottom. They finished on 24 points. Oh dear, that is... So how did he not get sacked? Their media prediction was 22nd, but they kept hold of him. What went wrong? What went wrong? That is... I'm trying to work out what could have even happened. So Nola's got a fair few goals. Harry Forster got some, as did Kevin Fryatt. Kevin Fryatt's actually a regen. He looks pretty good as well, the Scottish youngster. But you can see here, they've just not got any money they're spending on players. They're just an amateur club. Did they go into administration, or has he broke the club because he had so much money? Or maybe, I mean, is his salary that high? £1,800? It's not that high for the level. We can actually see here the finances of the club, which is bizarre because you can see they've got a load of money to spend. The club value is really high as well because they've just built a new stadium, which is something that Boston are doing in real life. You can see they've moved into the community stadium now last year. But it's not looking particularly good. They got relegated and they didn't even compete. You can see Turnham Parker was their top man. It makes you wonder if the reason they didn't sell Pep is maybe because of the compensation they'd have to pay out to get rid of him. But they're stuck with him for another year to see what he can do. You can see the players are just so unhappy. There's just no squad depth here. It's a really weird situation. I wish I could work out what's gone wrong. But it's not been a good time for Pep. He's got relegated. And let's look at that. 24. It's not even close to staying up. It's embarrassing. I mean, he can't have another season like that, can he? I assume he's still only got 2 years left on his contract. Yeah, they've not given him an extension. So he's going to need to have a better season next time out to stand any chance of keeping his job. I'm genuinely perplexed by what's happened here at Boston. Their media prediction wasn't even that bad. If we actually look at the National League, and I want to look at team detailed stats here, I want to see, are they their salary per year? Okay, it is the lowest in the league by a massive, massive margin, which is interesting. Their transfer spend, they did spend some money. No, they didn't. They didn't spend any money, but they didn't sell anyone either in the window. Looks like they relied on loads of kind of non-league free transfers, which isn't really going to get you very far, is it? I feel a little bit bad for them, but they've got £1.5 million in the bank, and they've got a lot of wage budget free. They've also got £800,000. Why did he not spend the money? I have no idea. Shall we go forward another year? What's going to happen next year is anyone's guess, folks. Let's go and take a look, shall we? 2022, it sounds like the future. I guess technically it is. Let's see what's happening, shall we? Okay, guys, so we are back again, and you can see the team media prediction was 18th, which is, again, really, really low. If we look at the landmarks, they had a takeover happen very recently. In fact, 5 days ago recently. I had a quick poke around because I was very, very curious. The club turned professional at the end of the year, and then the chairman left. The stadium capacity got increased by a decent amount as well, to 6,700. So really good attendance, as it would seem. The club balance now sits at 3.3 million. I don't know why it's that well, I guess that's because of the takeover, but then their budget's £2 million. And they finished third. Did they get promoted? I didn't actually check this. I just looked at what they did. They didn't get promoted. They missed out in the playoffs. They finished 11 points behind York. Pep is still manager. Spoilers. And he's actually signed... has he done a year extension on his contract, or am I going crazy? Maybe he signed a year extension, or maybe I am going crazy. Either way, he has, well, agreed to stay on for longer. He's not moved on after 3 years. His reputation looks like it might have even dropped. Maybe that relegation didn't help his cause, but the fact they were due to finish, or predicted to finish 18th, and they finished third is impressive. If we look at their players now, they've got loads of players on salaries here. Are people turning up for their matches? I'm trying to work out where this money's coming from, and I can only assume it's their new stadium. Did they go on like a cup run one year? That would also explain it. If we look at FA Cup, they got knocked out in the first round to Exeter. What about the year before? Yeah, they didn't even make it far there. It looks like it must just be the terrific attendances that they're getting at their new stadium, which is helping them out massively from a financial perspective. I'd really like to dig more into these finances. I'm gonna do something unorthodox here. I think this will work. I want to add myself as a manager and see what is happening here at Boston. I want to know where the money's coming from, which I know this breaks protocol because we have just technically sacked Pep. We'll add him back in. Don't worry, folks. I'm curious. So the club reputation isn't very good. They're working within the wage budget, which is excellent. Right, finances. Where is this money coming from? Income for the season. Oh, we have to look at last season, mind you, because the season's technically finished. So they got about $1 million in gate receipts and another 500,000 in match income and another 400,000 in season tickets. So it seems like Boston's finances, as a result of the new stadium, have just been amazing. You can see how much money they've been making as well during Pep's time in charge. They look very, very good. Who is their star player? I saw Bernardo Rossa appeared to be it, who's on loan from QPR. It's a weird situation here at Boston. I have no idea what Pep's going to achieve next year. You'd think he has to get promoted with 2 years left on his contract. I think for the final time today, we'll go forward. If he's still, in charge, maybe we'll do a part 2 to this if you guys would like to see it. I have no idea what's going to happen. We'll find out in just a second, I guess. Okay, guys, so we've gone forward to 2023. We've rewound the clock. I was never manager of Boston United in this universe. You guys didn't see anything. I will just quickly say this is going to be the last one we do this time, but if you would like to see more of this, maybe a part 2 where we can see Pep's adventures continue, let me know. So let's have a look, shall we? They won the league, which is really impressive. Farsley came second. Well, what division do Farsley start in? How have they done so well? I assume that teams have had takeovers when they do this well. No, they haven't. They've just been well looked after. But you can see here, they won the league with 91 points. They were comfortably the best team in the league. What kind of finances did they have? Let's have a look. They've got £3 million in the bank. They're currently spending £21,000 a week on wages. Why are Boston making so much money? I mean, I picked Boston because they're a team near and dear to me, but I'm now beginning to think that Boston maybe have like some weird issues in the database where they're making a load of extra money compared to other teams, perhaps because of their new stadium and because of these attendances. I'm not going to complain as a Boston fan, but yeah, little bit odd. You can see here, though, just how well they've been doing. Really, really good attendances across the board. They didn't really make a cup run of sorts, which is a bit of a shame. In the FA Trophy, they got to the second round and lost in a replay against Dover. I mean, Pep's won the league for them. They've bounced up and down and then back up again in 4 seasons. So in 4 years, he's had 2 promotions and a relegation. He's been a busy man. Can we look at his is it milestones I want to look at? So you can see here he got manager of the season at Boston. If we look at other landmarks, you can see here it promoted, relegated, promoted. It seems very odd to see these achievements with Boston then alongside the likes of Manchester City, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich. Of course, it looks weird, doesn't it? What awards has he won? He's won all the Manager of the Year awards. I say he's won all of them. He's won 2 of them. I mean, which do you reckon he values more, the Premier League ones or the Vanarama National League North ones? I think we all know the answer to that, really. But yeah, so far he's done pretty good things here at Boston. Did they spend much money in this most recent year to go up? Not really. They brought in Aaron Donnelly from Nottingham Forest, but not for a massive amount of money in truth. Compared to his team in Season 2, you can see how much he's really upped the spending. They brought in Jamie Thomas, who's a very, very good player, the Welsh forward, for at this level. And I guess that's implied by the fact he got 21 goals and 12 assists. That's one hell of a signing that he made. Ben Nurse has also done really well. He's actually a regen who they signed from Southport on a free transfer. And he did absolutely outstanding things here for Boston to get them back up. Knowles is still, by the way, vice-captain at the club. He's been pretty loyal, hasn't he? And he's actually played a decent amount of football. He was one of Pep's signings during his first season, and whilst the average ratings aren't particularly good, he's been a loyal little servant here at Boston United so far. Is it weird that in some kind of bizarre way I feel emotionally attached to the journey this team's going on? Perhaps a little. Joe Willis, by the way, 23 assists on loan from Walsall. I wonder if they'll try and sign him permanently. He did absolutely outstanding. Although his average ratings are really, really low for the amount of assists and goals he got. This is a weird situation, isn't it? Let's have a look at landmarks. I guess there's not been any more takeovers or stuff. Indeed, there hasn't. They won the league and were champions in April. So they did it quite far ahead of schedule. I guess they took their foot off the gas to end the year when they kind of pulled away from Farsley. If we just look at their fixtures, did they just stop trying? Kind of. Yeah, looks like maybe they did. I'm perplexed as to what's going on here at Boston. I mean, I say that as the person who made Pep in charge. If you have any idea why Boston made so much money, and I can only assume it's because of the gate receipts they're getting from their new stadium that got built, please do let me know. I know I said, would you like to see a part 2? I'm going to tell you now, there will be a part 2 because I feel like this could go... I don't know where it's going to go. I feel like he could get them up a good few leagues with the kind of money they've got now and him in charge. His current contract only lasts until the end of next year, so... Also, let me know if he left Barcelona, if he left Boston and went to another lower league team, should we just follow his adventure in this alternative universe where everyone forgot who Pep Guardiola was and he only retained his talents as a manager? Do let me know. This has been interesting, though. I genuinely didn't know what to expect. As I said, last time I tried this, last year, he got sacked twice in the first year in 2 separate saves, which was a little bit, what's the point? I'm glad things have gone a little bit different here, but in reality, in 4 years, they've gone up 1 division. Additionally, if there's stuff that I've not shown in this video that I should maybe show in the next part 2, please do let me know that as well down in the comments if there's, some interesting stuff. And yeah, for me, that is going to be all today. I do hope you've enjoyed this. If you've got ideas for similar kind of odd experiments you'd like to see happen, what ifs, maybe it's Neil Warnock at Barcelona, for example. I mean, we could do that, but that's not 100% original. If you'd like to see it, let me know. But yeah, really, really impressed by what he's achieved here. He's stuck with his 4-2-3-1. I didn't actually look to see if his manager kind of attributes have changed much. So if you noticed any weird changes there, please do let me know. And well, until part 2, I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Do drop a like if you've enjoyed. And yeah, with love, with care, I've stolen Dr. Benji's intro. We've stolen Boston Boys as well. I'll talk to you on the next one. It's me, Jack, and I'm out. I'll talk to you guys in a bit.